Yeah. It's me, and we're back. All cool. Do you like it? Every now and then, I think I should should make it a little different, so you don't think I just film all these in the same day or something. I don't know how that will work, but anyway, I don't always wear the same hat. I mean. It's a staple of the series, but it won't be totally iconic unless I don't wear it sometimes. So then you'll be like, I liked you better with your hat. Your head looks way more pointy now. Don't worry, I can bring it down. But anyway, so we can kind of go a bit slower today. Yesterday I wanted to get, of course. If you've seen it, for me at least, I wasn't able to upload it when I wanted it to be uploaded because I was a bit late, and there was way more stuff than I thought there was going to be, and so that kind of messed me up. But today we're back. It's going to be a bit of a more relaxed day, although we are going to cover the New York Times best-selling manga of the week, so that is going to be, of course, awesome. But to get into it first. Of course, we have everything back. Hopefully, it's not too bright this time. I don't know why. I mean, if we turn it around, same thing happens. Turn it this way. Okay. Let me try to do it that way. So anyway, as you should be able to see here, GOT7, who we talked about yesterday with their new comeback Turbulence, has released the track list for it. And so, look at the track list, and then I might as well read it off. So, So anyway, what we have here is some songs. I don't know Korean, so I can't say the name of them. Some of the songs on this album are Skyway, Hard Carry, Boom Boom Boom, Prove It, No Jam, Hey, Mayday, My Home, Who's That, Sick, Dreamin', and Let Me. So I think also If. So I think that that's all the songs, I believe. So that's quite a bit of songs. This is 13 songs. So this is a full album. I believe they've had 2 full albums before. GOT7 is a JYP group that has been around for a little while. So they have a good amount of albums out. Now, we also have the release for it. And again, I forgot about that last time. And it is the 27th of September. And it's at 0 a.m. So midnight Korean Standard Time. That day, and then it'll be released in physical. The physical copies will be released the same time. So it's going to be a pretty big album for them. So they've done a lot of songs. They came back earlier this year, and I really liked the song. The main title song that they go on music shows a lot more. We have award shows, but they have music shows where literally every week they just go on there and promote their songs. But they only usually promote one, and that's the title song. That's the song that mainly usually, unless you get the album. So I like that one. So I'm excited for this one. I think it might even be connected to that one because the other one, the main song was called Fly, and it had a lot to do with like flying and kind of maybe airplanes, stuff like that. So Turbulence kind of makes sense to kind of go with that and be like the second part. So anyway, so moving on, we have some more comeback stuff, and this is with shabet, who we talked about. I can't remember when we talked about them once before that they were getting ready for a comeback. So now we have our first teaser image for them. Of course, there they are in suits. Although they're girls, that's not weird. Many people have done it before. It's fine. At least they aren't wearing hats right now. Anyway, so yeah, so we don't. Oh, actually, we do know when the comeback is going to happen. It will be September 29th. So we have a lot of comebacks now for the second half. We had some like Red Velvet, some other ones. I can't really remember, but anyway, they come back earlier in September. Now we have more of the ones that are going to be at the end of September. Like 26 for A Pink, 27 for Got 7, and now 29th for Dallas Shabet. So that's really cool. Can't wait for their comebacks. So now we have a bit of some weird news before we get to the top 10 manga of the week, according to the New York bestsellers list thing. Some weird stuff happened. So before, and I believe it's I'm not sure actually. It's in one of my other videos, but I don't think it's the main topic in the videos. But it is going to be today, and as the thumbnail and everything. And that is that Mr. Sinister might not actually be in the next Wolverine movie. So of course, apparently, like in the commentary of X-Men Apocalypse, I believe Bryan Singer pretty much said. I haven't read the articles. I just took it because literally everybody was like, "This is fact. It's not a rumor or anything." Bryan Singer said it's totally confirmed. And so when everybody's saying it, some of the people, they're like, well, "Yeah, we don't cover that because we think it's a rumor or stuff." You know, sometimes these castings or characters being in it turns out not to be true. But everybody was running with this. Everybody's like, "He's in it. He's in it. He's in it." Now, I, of course, if you go back and watch the video, I don't know if I said it, but I wanted to say that I at least wanted to say, but I maybe I didn't say it or not, I can't remember, that he might not be the main villain in the movie, and I think this might have something to do with what we're going to talk about, because pretty much what happened is the director, Adam Wingard, of Wolverine 3, or the next Wolverine movie that's coming out next year, the R-rated Wolverine movie, and the last one with Hugh Jackman. In his Twitter account, he posted some tweets, and they were basically telling fans kind of that he's not. He was like, "Huh, Mr. Sinister? That he sounds like kind of corny name," or something like that. And so it was like, wait a minute, is he just trying to be funny or something? And then he's like telling another fan that like he's not or something. So now everybody's confused because, of course, Bryan Singer said that Mr. Sinister was in the movie, and apparently he's also the main villain in the movie. Now the director of the movie is saying that he doesn't know. But an interesting thing as well is that is how you say Mr. Sinister. Now, of course, some people might just know him as Sinister, because I knew him as Sinister a bit, but he's also called Mr. Sinister. But you can also say Mr. two different ways. You can say M-I-S-T-E-R or M-R, and then the period, and then Sinister. So you can say it two different ways. So he was saying M-I-S-T-E-R, Sinister. He didn't know what that is. So maybe they're just using the other character and it was just a little joke. I don't know, but maybe he's not actually in the movie, so bring your hype down so you're not disappointed if he's not in the movie. But we already know he's in the universe, so it would be stupid if he wasn't in this movie. So that brings me to thinking that maybe he is in the movie, but maybe he's not as prominent in the movie as a lot of people thought he was, in being like the main villain. Maybe he's in it, but he's just has cameo, or maybe he's a part of the movie, but he's just like another villain, and he's not the main villain. I don't know, but I think he's in the movie. But this is kind of confusing because he's kind of saying, he didn't straight up say he's not in the movie, but he was kind of like, wait a minute. Everybody's saying that he's in the movie, but I don't know who he is or something. So it's a bit confusing. Hopefully we get this all figured out soon, because apparently we're going to be seeing something from it. It comes out next year, and usually around this time, from like a year away or a bit less, we see something from it. And I think it's coming out in like, I might be wrong, but I think it's coming out in like March or something next year. So I think we should be getting like a trailer or a post, maybe not a poster, but a trailer soon, and that might show us if Mr. Sinister is in a movie or if he's the main villain or whatever. So hopefully we'll get confirmation on that soon. So now let's go to our favorite topic of the week, of every week, just talking about and carrying down what's happening in manga and the interesting stuff that's happening with it, because we don't have a lot of manga stuff. Like, it comes out, every now and then, but I don't like have the app or whatever that lets me read the new Shonen Jump titles or whatever, so I can do like weekly updates on them or something. But I can do this and tell you about what's happening. And if any smaller titles, like last time we had one that I had never heard of before, jump in, and I'm like, wow, okay, it must be bigger than I thought. So now if I see that, oh, that guy in anime, I'll be like, okay, I'm interested in that because I saw it before. So it's to get you to know more stuff. So this week we have at number 1 a new volume of One Punch Man. One Punch Man number 8, or volume 8. Let's just say well, we'll have to say volume, but I might not say volume sometimes because I get mixed up, so please stay with me. But how we're going to do this, it will, I'll if you're new here and you haven't seen it before, I'll tell you how it's done. So how I'm going to do it is, first I'm going to say what rank it is, which we're going from rank number 1 to rank number 10. And then we will, I will tell you what is at that rank. Then I will tell you what rank it was at before. So if it was on last week's, then it might have moved up or it might have moved down, and that might tell us, how it's doing in sales and stuff, or popularity. And then I'll also tell you, the last one will be how many times it's been on the list. So, or as they call it, weeks on the list. So, the first one is One Punch Man Volume 8, and it is new for this week at least. It might have came out like last week, but they count for this week or whatever. So this is the first time it's on the list, and its rank for last week is nothing, because it wasn't on last week's list. So, next we have at rank number 2, Monster Musume Volume 9. Its rank from before was number 1, so last week it was number 1. It's a popular manga. But of course, One Punch Man is more popular, and coming out on its first week, it's probably sold a lot more because more people know about it and stuff. So it trumped it as the number 1, but it did stay at number 2, so not bad for that. And it's been on the list 2 weeks. Next we have Haikyuu Volume 3. So of course, I can't remember if it was last time or not, but I talked about how the first volume of Haikyuu was on the list, but I knew that a new volume was coming out sooner. It had come out, and I was like, wait a minute, why is one on there but not the other one? But I guess this one, maybe, yeah, I feel like this is new, but maybe it's not. I can't remember. It might have been on the list. But anyway, it's Haikyuu Volume 3. At number 3, that's kind of funny. At rank number 3 is where it's at, and it is its first week on the list, which means that also it doesn't have any rank from last week. So I feel like this already came out, but it's coming back on the list, but I'm not sure. It might have been here before. I'm not sure. Again, I don't research like when these come out. Like, oh man, it was just came out today on December 29th, 2015. I'm like, I don't know what, all that stuff. Anyway, moving on. At rank number 4 is Seraph of the End Volume 10, and it is also new this week. So of course, I would say about maybe either two times. Maybe, probably like once a month, we have a new volume of most of the manga, like One Punch Man and Tokyo Ghoul and stuff like that come out, and they get up on the list. So we usually have some new ones, but sometimes we don't. So this time we have some new ones, or at least newer volumes. So Seraph of the End Volume 10 is new. It is the first time on the list, so no other rank. And it's been on the week 1 list, of course. So next is another new one, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now, of course, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise has been before, but Zexal is the newest iteration of it, and I feel like it's a different character in that. Anyway, this is the 9th volume of that, and it is at rank number 5. Of course, I mixed it up a little bit there, sorry. Its rank on last week's list is 0 because it is also new, of course, and it's been on the week 1 list. We have a lot, it seems, that are on this list for the first week. Actually, like the majority, I think. So next we have a very interesting one, and this is at rank number 6, Skip Beat 37, or volume 37. Skip Beat I thought was a really old manga. I mean, maybe it is if it's got 37 volumes, but still, I thought it was like early 2000s and ended. But apparently it's still going, and it got on the list, so that's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. I've never seen a Skip Beat on the list. I don't think so. This is its first time on the list since that volume just came out, so of course no rank from last week, and no rank, or it does rank, but it's the first week on the list, so it ranks as that. Next, we have Nisekoi False Love, Volume 17 at number 7, or rank number 7. It is another one. This is its first week, so no rank from last week, and it is on the week. It has been on the week 1 week. This week. So next, we have one that, before you're like, okay, all these are on for 1 week, so they all just stay on for 1 or 2 weeks? Is that all? No. We're going to get some ones that have stayed on longer. This one, Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. Of course, this is the first volume of Tokyo Ghoul, but since a lot of people get into the popular animes all the time, whether it's January or March or December, people will get into these anime because they'll hear about them and get into them, and they'll be like, oh, what about the manga? The anime's ended, I want to know more, so they start with the manga. So the first volumes of the manga are usually take up the top, especially in the weeks where there's no new material, and Tokyo Ghoul 1 is doing pretty good right now. So Tokyo Ghoul number 1 is at rank 8, but it is on the list, even though it might stay at the back of the list. But last week, it actually wasn't at as bad of a spot. It actually has moved down, or down as in worse. If you go up, then that's better, basically. So it went down. This last week it was at rank number 2, so it went down 6 to rank 8. So that's not that good for it, but it's still on the list. So how long has it been on the list? 62 weeks straight. Oh wait, no, actually it's not straight. That was a mistake I made on the first one, or the second one. It's not 62 weeks straight, that's all the times it's been on the list. But still, being on the list 62 weeks, that's a lot. That's a lot. So, yeah, you can stay on that long if you're really, really popular. Or not stay on that long, but be on it a good amount of the time. So anyway, but also Tokyo Ghoul not only has that volume, also what helps it is new volumes coming out, and last week that was what happened. Tokyo Ghoul, actually maybe it wasn't last week, I'm not sure. Tokyo Ghoul volume 8 came out, maybe it was a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's at rank number 9. Last week it was, okay. Sorry, I thought I skipped something. Anyway, last week it was at rank number 6, so it did move down as well. So basically, with all the new stuff coming out, not the people that are interested in Tokyo Ghoul don't seem as much, but on weeks with lesser, they seem like they're more, so they go up. Especially when the new volumes come out. So, but it is a bit weird because Tokyo Ghoul Volume 8 was at number 6, but Volume 1 was at number 2. So I would have thought that, like, when Volume 8 came out, it would be at number 1, and then Volume 1 would be at rank number 2. But I guess Volume 1 really does sell better than even the newest ones. They just kind of help it a little bit more. Anyway, It's been on the list 4 weeks, so yeah, so it's probably been a little while since it first came on, but I guess it still somehow helped Volume 1 to stay up there at number 2 for last time. I don't know how. Anyway, lastly, we have One Punch Man Volume 1. Of course, One Punch Man Volume 8 is at number 1, if you remember. So One Punch Man Volume 1 is at the number 10 rank, the last ranking. It's the top 10 manga of the week. And last week it was at rank number 5, so we did move down 5. We only have stuff that are moving down this week. No, nothing that's moving up. We'll probably have some that move up next week, though. And it has been on the week 53 times. So that is a lot. Not as much as Tokyo Ghoul, but almost as much, which just shows One Punch Man's popularity. It is very popular. So anyway, that's all for today and this week for the New York Times manga bestseller list. So I'll see you next week for that, and I'll see you tomorrow for another news roundup. It's go time.